Okay.
Finally, I thought you guys,
What's that?
I said, I thought you guys forgot to open the public meeting.
No, we wouldn't do that.
I'm here.
See, they're just signing in.
Mr. Reeser, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Top of the day to all of you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Whoever that was, yes.
It was the chief. It's Jeff.
I hear you, Jeff.
Okay, very good. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Melissa,
Yes.
is there a way to get like everybody's face on the screen, or can you only get like 6 or something?
You want to see everybody's face?
Yeah, there is a way. I'm trying to find it.
Push plus.
I don't think you can do it when you have something else on the screen.
No, you cannot. You can push plus, you can scroll across the bottom.
Cancel that.
Okay.
This is Chris Troy. I think you can actually see more people. You can change the size of the window that has all the
Yeah,
video pictures. And up at the top, there's like 9 square boxes. If you click on that, it'll give you all the images.
good idea, Chris.
Oh, I see. There. I had to expand the box a little. All right.
Trouble with my computer for some reason.
yeah, I don't want it.
Not
26 participants.
It's a lot.
Oh, what else do they have to do?
Thank you. Thank you.
Is everybody on?
Yes.
Chief's on.
Okay. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Wyomissing Borough Council, Tuesday, May 12th at 2 p.m. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag,
to the United
States of America,
and to the
republic
Which is stand
and
one nation
under God.
indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Boy, that was terrible.
That's all.
It doesn't get any better each month.
Yeah, we sound better in public. May I have a roll call, Melissa, please?
Sure. Councilmember Boucher,
Here.
Councilmember Woodward,
Here.
Councilmember Brunner,
Here.
Councilmember Jenks,
Sure.
Councilmember Menon, here. Councilmember Durr,
Here.
and Council President Moll.
Here. There was an executive session before this afternoon's meeting to discuss personnel issues. Do we have any public comments this afternoon?
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Yes.
Yes, we have Greg Krutayevsky.
All right, go ahead.
Greg Krutayevsky, 41 Carton Road. I would like to talk about falsehoods.
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
What?
About what?
Falsehoods,
Falsehoods.
lies.
Good. Okay.
Yes. It's false statements by the borough government officials or falsehoods. In December 2019, 4 residents of the Cardinal Road asked the borough to fix the problem with the line of sight at the sharp turn, which is less than 30 feet instead of 150 feet by law. There was no reply to this petition, and I emailed the borough manager asking for update. He emailed me that the issue is closed and the borough denied the petition. I used the RTK request to obtain the documents pertaining to this decision, and borough in its reply demanded 30-day extension. Why? Because this was a false statement. There was no decision officially done. So the issue went to Fire and Police Committee in April, apparently after the decision was already done. At said meeting, the same manager, Pat Brandenburg, presented this issue to the committee, saying that traffic mirror can only be installed on private land. Again, the false statement, which he admitted at the end of the meeting, saying, I was told to say so. He's a former police chief and knows where the traffic signs are placed. So it was a real false statement. And this is not an isolated event. 3 years ago, the police was notified of Mr. John Cullen of 47 Cardinal Road attack on a 3-year-old girl and 2 other neighbors with a laser device. The investigation was handled by the police chief himself, who knows that the assault on a child is a crime. The police chief combined 2 separate reports into one and closed the issue as neighborly issue. Again, false statement by the high-ranking borough employee. Who can order borough employees to say falsehoods? Only the mayor, the Fire and Police chairman, and borough council president. We prepared the petition to the borough to conduct a formal investigation and to find out who is forcing the employees to behave this way. I will email this petition today, and you will receive it today. This petition is for the borough council, the whole borough. As to December petition, there is no obstacle for installation of the traffic mirror in the public land. After spending $3,000 on coolants for no parking zone, we need only $200 to solve a real problem with the violation of the Pennsylvania and Wyomissing code. I am talking about the installation of the traffic mirror. Please make this decision now without any exclusive executive sessions. It is time to stop falsehoods. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, I want to say a couple of words, and I'm wondering if Melissa has received my email.
No, I don't have my email currently on.
You don't have your email. Okay. Because I sent you a few pictures over there. Is there any way you can get it? Maybe? Yes? No?
I can't minimize my screen. It says you cannot minimize Zoom when you're recording this meeting.
Oops. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to say it without pictures, and I'm going to send you the pictures later to attach to the, like we always do. I will try next time to send them earlier. Sorry about that. Okay, so again, myself also want to protest the continuous discrimination and double standards by the borough and its employees. Number one, Fire and Police Committee just passed. Fire and Police Committee was decided not to install the same traffic mirror Greg was talking about to compensate for the loss of line of sight due to the fence installed by the new residents at 1115 Thrush, based on a false information provided by borough manager stating that it would need to be installed on private property. The same borough manager has ordered installation of a no winter maintenance sign inside the property at 1100, so 1100 Old Wyomissing Road. Also, Mr. Mall himself also installed a satellite antenna inside a neighboring property and right at the property line against all borough regulation, past and present. There are pictures for these. Second, so like I said, I will forward this writing with the pictures attached. 2, borough selectively sends notices of violation to us, which happen to be immigrant residents for some reason, while condoning preferential treatment for other residents. Again, pictures show weeds exceeding allowable height at 1115 Thrush. Just now, picture, I took it today in case Jim Babb is wondering. Picture 4 and 5 below show vegetation and weeds encroaching on Spiral Lane, which we use daily. We have complained in past years about this, but no sensible action was taken. The weeds keep growing and nobody is doing anything. We cannot cross downstairs just because all those branches poke our eyes and it's impossible to cross through. Number 3, borough selectively closed access last winter, which we kind of know about it, only to the portion of Spiral Lane and staircase which was used by us, which again, immigrant residents. The staircase used by American residents at 15, so the portion of the staircase by 1514 Old Wyomissing was left open, although it was in exact same practical condition as the closed one. We don't know how that decision was made. Obviously, somebody doesn't like us there. No other public staircase or public access path was closed at the time. Also, there are pictures that I took that same day around Wyomissing. No other path was closed, just our access. Naturally, it would have taken Public Works a lot less time and gasoline to throw a couple of shovels of salt than it took to place and remove 2 cones at top and 2 cones at bottom of the stairs. Picture below, again, shows situation and other public staircase. I am done, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'd like to have a motion to receive all the minutes for the committee reports.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
First item of business is the council minutes from April 14th, 2020. Is any additions or correction to the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of accept them as written, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I did have one question. I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, go ahead, Steve.
So on the minutes, because it is public record, I think it's important to state, we included a picture from Adrian Jadick, 48 Cardinal Road, of a tree that was laying in the middle of the street, and basically stating that the borough didn't come out to remove it. But if I'm not incorrect, Jim Babb, the tree, was that the same picture you received when you got requested to go out to get the tree taken apart?
No, it's a different picture.
Okay, so that picture is not the picture of where it fell in the first place, according best of our knowledge?
Correct.
Thank
And
you.
I corrected that statement that last time.
Mr.
This
Jadick,
was a
you're out of
picture.
order. Mr. Jadick, you're out of order.
Okay, fair enough.
That's all I wanted to comment on.
You make those additions and corrections to the minutes, please, Melissa.
Yes, I can do that.
Thank you. All those in favor of accepting the council minutes as written, please signify by saying aye.
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 Consulting engineers report. Mr. McCarthy.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing today?
Great. How are you, Jim?
Good.
Good.
We have a couple items that are in my report and not in others that require action today, and then two that aren't in my report that came up since we didn't have an infrastructure meeting last month. So the first is the 2019 street improvement project has all been inspected and all the restoration of grass is all growing. So at this point, we're recommending to close that project out and release final retainers to Ronnie Folk Inc. in the amount of $23,492.11.
Okay.
Need a
Do you
motion.
need a motion for that?
Yeah, I need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please, Melissa.
Okay. Councilmember Boucher,
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward,
Yes.
Councilmember Brunner,
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks,
Yes.
Councilmember Menon, Councilmember Durr,
Yes.
and Council President Moll.
Yes.
Okay, and then the next item would be similar but related to the 50/50 sidewalk project in 2019. All of that has been inspected, the grass has all come in. So we're recommending release of the retainage to Affordable Paving and Excavating LLC in the amount of $6,496.47.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Have it.
And then we have two other items related to the 4th Street project. And just so everyone's aware, I think everyone is aware, we pushed the bid due date back till May 29th on that. We were getting a lot of feedback from the contractors that now that they were going back to work, they weren't going to be able to bid it. So we wanted to get more bids. So that will be on the agenda for the June council meeting.
Okay.
But related to that project, we need authorization for the borough solicitor to advertise the alley vacation ordinance. And I don't know if Chris wants to chime in on that or has anything else to add to that.
Yeah, these are a couple of alleys that are not used by the borough that we are trying to clean up. The responsibility for these alleys in the neighborhood around 4th Street. So this ordinance will clean that up.
Okay.
So we're looking for a motion authorize advertising of the ordinance to vacate certain alleys.
Somebody wish to put that one on the floor, please?
I'll make that motion.
And we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor of advertising ordinance number 1413-2020, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Please have it.
Okay, and then next related to 4th Street would be, we have there's 3 pieces of property we're acquiring for that, as everyone's aware. The borough previously bought the former Spot Stevens McCoy parking lot at North Wyomissing Boulevard in 4th. We also need to take a strip of right-of-way for the right-hand turn improvements for Dr. Abusef's property, as well as dedication of the road, what's currently known as Innovation Way from Park Road into the new proposed roundabout. We thought by this point we were going to have voluntary dedication and signing of those documents by those 2 property owners. At this point, we do not have that, and with the impending schedule, we're asking if you will authorize the borough solicitor to file the condemnation proceedings or start the condemnation proceedings on those 2 parcels.
Okay. Is somebody willing to put that on the table, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
And that, other than what's in writing in my report, is everything I had. Sorry to take a little longer than normal today.
Well, that's fine, Jim. Thank you very much. All those in favor of accepting the consulting engineers report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Police chief and mayor's report. Chief, mayor.
I have
Yep.
nothing further to add, so Chief, go ahead and answer any questions.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, let me know. The report's pretty much self-explanatory, as you can see. The calls are down, the volume is down due to everybody being penned up. We'll just wait and see how May bakes out with calls. The only thing we've seen, nothing really out of the ordinary. You know, tempers are a little short sometimes at places, but other than that, knock on wood, we're doing pretty good over here.
Where did they find the lady who ran away from the unit last night at Highlands?
Inside the building.
Oh, gee.
Okay.
So the Highlands are still escape-proof.
Yeah, she was there. We had a lot of people out looking, but yeah, she was in the Highlands the whole time. She was in a vacant apartment.
Okay.
All right.
I'm glad you didn't call me then.
Somebody must have tried to leave the Highlands, I guess. I don't know.
All those in favor of accepting the police chief and mayor's report, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have it. Fire chief's report. Bill.
Okay, for April, there were a total of, the fire department responded to 90 calls, 59 of which were in the borough, 18 of those being fire, 28 EMS calls. The rest of the report is pretty much self-explanatory. There were $1,200 in fire damage. Average personnel was 5 people. And average response time out of the station, it's reported of being 1 minute and 59 seconds, which is pretty fantastic time. And total responses year to date, 459.
Okay. Thank you. All those in favor of accepting the fire chief's report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Personnel committee, Tom.
Okay. Report again, just like the others, I guess is pretty self-explanatory. I will make a motion under this committee or some previous discussions we've had, to have the council vote on a police contract request for a 1-year extension through 2021, or including 2021, with an increase in healthcare payments by them and a 3% salary increase, which is actually a 0.25 reduction from this year's contract amount. And I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you very much.
Okay, and I think that's all, unless somebody else has any questions there.
Any questions for the personnel committee? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting the report as written, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Rec board minutes, Steve.
Okay, thank you. The rec board met. You would think we didn't have much to talk about with nothing going on, but we did. Couple things. Mike Fitzgerald from Lawrence Foundation is looking to maybe make a few changes due to the situation we're in. So that's being taken under advisement by the rec board. More to come on that. There were a few families that outside of the borough did do an Earth Day cleanup, some mulching project. They did it in a socially distancing way, and we thank them also. Obviously, we had already announced that the Memorial Day Parade and the fishing rodeo were canceled. In terms of the Memorial Day celebration, the rec board would still like in some way to honor our veterans, even with COVID-19. We think that's important. And we're looking into ways, maybe a Facebook Live ceremony at the laying of the wreath or something along those lines. We're still working out some details on that, who will speak and who will speak. But we think it's important to continue with that tradition. We did discuss, obviously, some other issues. The main one being we are going to, at this point, because of the situation we're in, anybody who has funded or has paid for either the pool, playground, or tennis will be refunded their monies, because we're not sure if and when the playground, pool, or tennis courts will be open this summer. And that being said, I do have a few recommendations that the rec board has made to Borough Council for their approval. The first one is, with deep regret, the Borough Council, the rec board is recommending the Borough Council canceling the 4th of July parade and festivities scheduled for the July 4th, 2020. And based on the guidance we received from the Pennsylvania Recreation and Park Society dated May 11th, 2020, which was yesterday morning, due to the concerns of the community safety related to the COVID-19. So with regret, I will make that motion.
We have a second.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Regrettably, motion carries.
Additionally, one other on the cancellation side of things, there was a concert in the park scheduled for June. We are recommending to council that we are going to cancel the June concert in the park and postpone, at least at best, the July 15th concert in the park to a later date, if that is at all possible, and I will make that recommendation also.
We have a second.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have it. Thank you.
And then additionally, one last motion. The borough received a donation from Make-A-Wish Foundation for $7,500. Wait, I want to make sure I'm reading this correct. There was a donation of $7,500 from the Make-A-Wish Foundation to install a special piece of equipment, such as a wheelchair swing at the Happy Hollow Playground. The rec board is recommending that at the discretion of there be no financial impact to the borough, except for labor costs, that they would install that equipment. So I will make that motion.
We have a second.
Second.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have
Can
it.
I ask a question about that, Tom?
Sure, go ahead.
I was in on that meeting. Should the borough not at least know what that is and what it looks like before you say yes? I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but nobody seems to know. There was no pictures. There was no real definition of what it is.
Rob, do you have any information on that?
Yeah, hi, this is Rob. Yeah, this was a Make-A-Wish reached out to us on behalf of Dan Macrina, our resident and Public Works employee, and they would like to forego taking a Disney trip in lieu of, donating these funds on behalf of their child to install this piece of equipment. I am in the process of getting an overall cost for that. Obviously, if it's something that's going to cost way more than we anticipate, we wouldn't be able to do it, and then Make-A-Wish would have to look for another avenue. We do not have their funds yet. This is in preliminary stages.
I think, Rob, what they're asking for is, what does this look like? Do they have a picture of it that it can be sent around to members of council?
Yes, well, I'll get you there's several pieces of equipment that are adaptable, handicap friendly. And then I would like to work with Make-A-Wish as well as Dan to decide which piece of equipment will be best suited for us.
Okay, but I think what you want to do is have some input from Steve Brunner in the rec board on that. We'd like to at least know what what we're going to put up in the park.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
And is there like a special location that has to go?
Now, we've decided Happy Hollow would be best, and we'll put it where it kind of fits in with the rest of the playground equipment.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know if it needed some other trail or access to, a walkway or something to get to it or something.
Now, we could build it similarly to the side where we already have the walkway on the basketball court side.
Okay.
All right. As long as you keep Steve Brunner and the rec board in the loop on that, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still in the preliminary stages. I just didn't want to move forward without getting approval to do something.
Okay. Yeah. Understand. Okay. Anything else, Steve?
Yeah, I just want to follow up with, this isn't any official action, but obviously the rec board is very paying attention to what the governor's regulations are when it comes to our playground pools and obviously all the rec facilities. At this point, obviously everything is on hold, I would say at best. We're not even we're in the red phase. The guidelines for thank you for putting that up, Melissa. The guidelines from the Pennsylvania Recreation and Park Society gave us some guidelines on what we can do in the red, yellow, and green phases. It's probably holding out hope for no reason other than just trying to hold out hope. But at some point, if at all possible, without jeopardizing anybody's health or well-being, maybe we'll be able to get the pool open. We don't, the rec board at this point has not decided that they want to put an end to the summer activities at this point, but wait for further guidance. June 4th is when the governor is supposed to speak about what phase we go into. We may have more information from the Pennsylvania Recreation and Park Society, and at that point, probably make a recommendation to Borough Council. Any questions on that?
Well, I'm looking at the green phase here, and that's a long shot, I know. But under, Melissa, put up the playground part of that again. Yeah. Close. Open with physical distancing restrictions. Informative signage required. I know we have some signs up around the parks area that I've seen. I guess we put in the ground there. And then restrooms, I guess that includes those restrooms, I would assume. Daily sanitation and signage. Whew. I don't know. I think between that, is there a pool in there too, Melissa? I know there was. Listen to that.
Pool's indoor and outdoor.
Near top.
Health guidelines for water sanitation and cleaning informative signage required. Physical distancing is at a pool. That's interesting too. I don't know. I think we're just kidding ourselves with trying to keep that open. I know we've discussed privately about some of that stuff, but I'd be willing to make a motion to close the pool and the playground for the summer in that regard, for at least paid for activities, I guess we'll call it. The pool is almost impossible. Any other comments?
I'll second that motion.
I see no value in canceling at this point. Obviously, we don't want to, the rec board wants to put no one in harm's way. We're just waiting to see if there's any more direction that maybe we could salvage a little bit of the summer, but obviously it would have to be with public safety being number one.
Yeah.
Well, this is the chief here. If I could just put in my 2 cents real quick. I see what Tom's getting at with the pool. However, my opinion is if we, make the decision too early and we have hot days, my guys are going to be chasing guys out of that creek all summer long.
That's true.
Well, get them hip boots.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. My opinion is I just don't know that there's a value of making the decision now. I just think there's so much bad news in the news all the time. At least people can, and that way we can at least say at the end, we waited till the very last minute, that we have absolutely no choice. so there can be no blame. You know, I think everybody will understand it. But I think if you do it now, because people are already making those decisions, they're looking at stuff and saying, there are people canceling stuff in September. Why are you canceling it in September? I just think it's one more thing that there's no advantage to doing it now. I agree with Steve that I think we should just wait. I don't think it has to be done today.
Yeah,
I agree.
Rob, what about staffing?
Rob Lewis?
Right now, we've got all staffing. This is Pat. Right now, all staffing is on hold. We are still in the process of, we would have to onboard these personnel. They would have to be trained. They would have to be, make sure that all their clearances in place. So, you know, we are kind of in a holding pattern with that, which also creates kind of a dilemma on what the actual kids are doing and when we need to let them know something so they can do something else with their summer if necessary. So there are some, you know, issues there.
Can we even get enough people together if we wait?
We have enough people signed up at this point. Obviously, that's one of the. This is not something. No charted waters on this one, right? So.
No, I know.
The Breck board clearly understands that in the best case scenario, the ultimate best case scenario, that playgrounds in the pool is not going to be the same in 2020 as it was in 2019. Maybe that means only having one playground open at a time. Maybe that means no playgrounds and the pool stays open. Maybe it means it's all closed. We don't know that yet, but we understand that there's going to be some major changes if we got the best case scenario. And what's the likelihood of that? Probably not a whole lot, but we just don't want to close the door on them. It's the easy.
That's why we should pull the plug now.
Well, I think that's the easy thing to do. And sure.
Well, I mean, what's the drop dead case for these kids that signed up to work there and stuff? I mean, what's Rob say about that? How long are they going to hang around?
I'm not sure. There's not going to be other employment around for them per se. If there's other pools that are going to be closed already, you know, and I think if playground is open, we're going to have less registrations than normal. So we won't need as many staff.
Yeah. I did see that Spring, not that we have to follow, but I saw Spring Township canceled all theirs though.
Yes, last night.
Yeah. And what their reason was the same as what we're talking about, I guess?
Yeah, they said they don't feel they can do anything till they get to the green phase is what we're thinking. We can't do anything till we get to the green phase. But we don't know if that might happen, say, at the beginning of July. It's possible.
It's too late.
Well, yeah, it's going to be too late in July. There's just no doubt about that. But I don't know.
The rec board's recommendation was to wait till see what happens on June 4th and make a decision at the meeting on June 8th.
Okay.
All right. Well, I made a motion. I think John seconded it. We can bring it up, vote on it. If everybody says no or yes, then that's whatever it is. That's fine.
All right. Well, look, it's Steve, are you making a motion, or it's in your committee report, are you making a motion to wait until the rec board meeting in June?
Yes.
To the governor?
Yep.
I think I made my motion first, but that's okay.
So do I.
Go for it.
All right. My motion was to close both of those for this, not close them, but I'll not staff them for this summer.
Well, let's find out where council stands. Let's take a
Yeah,
vote.
right. Yeah, no, wait.
Okay, I made a motion.
Okay. All right. Tom, you made a motion. Do we have a second?
Yeah, I did. John.
Okay, a second. All those in favor of closing everything immediately, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Noes?
No.
Do we need a roll call vote? I'd like to know who's saying what.
So would I.
All right, go ahead. Melissa?
Councilmember Boucher,
Let's see, that one, I'm voting for the motion, yes.
Councilmember Woodward,
Yes.
Councilmember Brunner,
No.
Councilmember Jenks,
No.
Councilmember Menon,
No.
Councilmember Durr,
No.
Council President Mull.
No. Okay. There's where we stand. So we wait until the committee or the governor's next move on into the yellow phase for the 4th of June, and then we wait for the rec board's recommendation from there.
Yeah, and the rec board will, when they make a recommendation, will know then about staffing, all that kind of good stuff. If we could open for some miracle and we can't staff it, so be it. We'll make that recommendation.
Okay.
I would like to,
You have vacation time, don't you, Steve?
Me?
Yeah.
I do, yeah, but I don't have it. I have my clearances. I could do the playground. I float well, but I don't swim great.
Well, there's time to take a class.
I think it might be beneficial, maybe I'm wrong, if we put some kind of a letter into the website.
Oh, thanks for bringing that up.
Explaining our position on this, that we are holding some hope about this, but are not very optimistic, but we're going to give it as much time as we possibly can before a final decision is made.
President Mull, I apologize if I did not mention that. Rec board did recommend, I think we did, sending out an email to everybody who was registered in the past year or years to both the pool, the playground, and to any tennis or whatever that may be.
Yeah.
To let them know that we're not accepting registrations. It's not open, and in the chance that we can open, we'll open it at the appropriate time.
Yes,
No,
this is Rob. I've already drafted that letter just to, get a step ahead.
Okay, well, we need to get that on the website as well for general information for the entire community. That everybody kind of knows what's going on, that they're not talking over the back fence and wondering what we're doing.
Fair enough.
Okay.
That's the end of, let me make sure that's the last of my meeting. Sorry. That's it. It's all for the rec board.
Okay. All right. All those in favor of accepting the rec board report, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have it. Fire and Police Committee, Bill.
Okay, Fire and Police Committee met on April the 27th. Under public comments, Mr. Jake expressed his on Cardinal and Thrush Roads. In the fire department report, just an update on the new ladder truck from Pierce. While it was undergoing its final inspection test, one of the fly sections was discovered to be, the metal was faulty, and so a new fly section has been ordered, and Pierce will be replacing that section at their location before sending it to for final installation of the equipment. Pat, do you have anything to add to that?
No, they're still waiting for the repairs to be done. Then it goes through final, and then it'll be shipped to Glick in Lancaster.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Western Berks Ambulance reported there were 214 calls for service in the borough. 17 were at Country Meadows, 35 at the Highlands. Chief Gill reported a request for the annual Bradley Memorial Run, and the committee approved that, and I will make that motion before council.
We have a second on that?
When is it?
It's on the
August
on the
8th.
Bradley Meyer Memorial Run on August the 8th.
I would assume that would go the same way as the rec board, right? I mean, let people, do you want that to happen in the park if this is still going on?
Yeah, we seem to be canceling a lot of these runs other places.
My suggestion would be to let it just play out another month or so and see where we're going with it again, rather than canceling it at this point.
Well, then I would make the motion. I would agree to a motion that said pending waiting for another month.
pending, conditional approval.
Yeah, that works.
All right. So we have a motion. Do we want to restate that on conditional approval, Bill?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a second on that amended motion?
I'll second it.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay. All right. That's good.
Okay. Just going forward, in Cardinal Road, stop sign ahead, that's been reviewed by Chief Beal, the Fire and Police Committee, noted that they are satisfied with current placement and that it's in accordance with the regulations. No further action is being taken in that matter. And then just in other business, first.
So again, falsehood. Again, false statements based on the lies.
Hey,
You're out of line. You are out of line and out of order.
Okay, and the final thing is first responders are staying safe by following the national standards, tracking the PPE and limited access exposures. The frontline services in Borough Hall are tracking all PPE, cleaning products, and the time off expenses related to COVID-19. And that is all I have.
All those in favor of accepting the Fire and Police Committee report, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have it. Economic Development, John.
Let me pull up my minutes on the computer here. Okay. Okay. The main thing we did, we approved a Berkshire Heights playground, excuse me, funding letter from the state, and I so move that council reaffirms that.
John, you're in the Planning Commission report.
You're planning, you're not an economic.
And, yeah.
Okay, pardon me.
Yeah, you had me looking for that one, John.
All right, let me get to where I should be here. Okay, are we at economic development, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So on the April 30th meeting, we agreed to terminate the contract with somebody Wallace.
McNeese Wallace.
McNeese Wallace. Subject to the solicitor's review. And I guess we should do this in two separate motions, Chris?
Well, I think it can be one motion to terminate the contract with McNeese Wallace and to enter into a replacement contract with Saxton Stump, subject to the solicitor's review.
Right, who Kathy has been working for us for a couple of years. So I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have it.
See what we got here.
Okay.
Okay, so then we have a motion. Oh, it's just a motion to ratify the continue on working on the proposed redevelopment area mixed-use incentive-only overlay district ordinance, and which I would like to comment that Michelle and Jim and Chris have been working hard on this, and it's important for economic development for our borough. And I would like to make that motion.
Do we have a motion on that? Do you have a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Now, this is for the continued working on the redevelopment area mixed used incentive overlay district.
That is correct.
Everybody understand that? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. That's it, John.
That didn't take long.
No. All those in favor of accepting the Economic Development Committee report, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Planning Commission, John, you're up again.
Okay, let me get down here again.
Now you're down to the Heights Playground.
Yeah, so we need a motion to recommend council approve the letter of consistency to seek funding of the proposed Berkshire Heights Playground. The letter includes approval from the Planning Commission to move forward with the grant application and states the project complies with the comprehensive plan adopted by the borough in 2018 and coincides with what the borough has for Berkshire Heights, and I so move.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Just have it. That's,
You know, just as a commentary, the George Haynes and I know I said this last month, have been working with one county commissioner. We need to get the county reassessed. And there's lots of ways to do it, but, and I think things that are going on right now won't make things easier, but for economic development purposes, it's gotta happen. So that's just an aside.
you're right, John, it's a bitter pill, but it's gotta happen.
Right. It is a bitter pill, and they can do it now. They just got reelected in November, and, you know, we need to make it happen. But who knows if it will.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you know, issue is to try to, you know, combat the governor's orders, and I don't think that's right. But anyway,
No,
it has
I
nothing
think,
to do with anything.
no, it does have a lot to do with everything. I think it would be very short-sighted for them to do it. Any municipality, because of the backfire for that could be very serious for a lot of business owners.
Yeah.
Who are trying to comply with the orders. And I'm sure I wouldn't want to be in Governor Wolf's shoes right now for all the money in the world.
No, neither would I. And, you know, I've taken a serious beat, which I can absorb, but there's a lot of people that can't absorb it, and they're going to go south. But anyway, unrelated to this report.
No. Okay. All those in favor of accepting the Planning Commission report, please signify by saying aye.
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 Have it. Finance and Administration. Steve.
Hey, another fun report here. Met on May 7th. Had some discussion. I'm going to go sort of through this line by line, but our April results at the end of March, we were $316,000 in the deficit. At the end of April, we were $445,000, almost $446,000 to the good. There was a lot of confusion, obviously, with when the discount period was going to be into effect, whether it was going to be continue to be the end of April or move to the end of, I believe it was August, and obviously it stayed with April. So a lot of payments did come in at the end of the month. I can't find it right now because I have so many things on my screen right now that I can't figure out where this letter might be, but I know there's going to be a mention from Betsy Heckman regarding where we stand with that also at the end of the discount period. So I'll save that for that period if someone can dig it up for me. Some other things that we discussed, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure through this thing. We did discuss the mercantile tax, which we will have a resolution on here in a second. Berkshire Heights Playground, Michelle reported to us that there's a grant availability opportunity for the ADA compliant equipment, which would only have a 15% match for the borough. And the cost estimate for the project is $205,000. The borough would be responsible for $31,797.39 of that cost. We can apply for the project, and we know what kind of financial situation, well, we don't know what kind of financial situation we're in right now. So the project does not have to be completed in 2020, but we can put it off for 3 years and also have 2 one-year extensions on that grant. So in the Finance Admin Committee meeting, was recommended to make the council to approve Michelle Bear and Rob Lewis to move forward with the grant application process for the Berkshire Heights Playground. I'm not sure if that ties in exactly with the Planning Commission or not. So I'll make that motion.
I think it's duplicative of what was already approved by council, so I don't think it's necessary at this time.
Didn't know if that had to come from us or not. Okay. I'll come back to the trustee resolution and the pandemic resolution in a second. In other business, there was a recommendation for council to approve a change order for the borough for Dolan Construction to delay phase 2 of the Borough Hall window work, or the Borough Hall work starts, not just windows, until 2021, with the understanding that phase 1 punch list must be completed in 2020 and the $25,000 retainage released. And there is also a provision to change order to discuss pricing in 2021. And I will go ahead and make that motion.
We have a second.
Second.
And all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
I just have a question. Question, Tom?
Go ahead.
We're not getting, by having this quote, as they're putting a change order, we're not being dinged anything for that change order like you would normally have. Am I correct?
I do not believe so.
No.
Well, there is a provision where we're going to need to review pricing in 2021. So there is no cost in 2020 for the change order. So we're not paying them to extend the contract. But there is a provision that will require us to have a conversation to look at the economics in 2021 before they undertake the phase 2 work.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. That's no more than fair. Okay.
Okay. And then we have 2 resolutions, and Chris, I just need your help on. There is do I read the recommendation to council and then read the resolution, or do I just read the resolution?
I would just read the resolution because the subject matter is contained in the title.
Yeah.
Okay. So
just salutation.
Yeah, just the title of the resolution, not the whole thing.
I don't have to read the whole thing. So the committee is making a recommendation to Borough Council to approve Resolution 2020-11, authorizing Borough Manager Pat Brandenburg and Business Manager Phyllis Smith to be the designated pension plan officials for the borough pension plans managed by Nationwide. I will make that recommendation.
Do we have a second?
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay, we have another recommendation to council to approve resolution 2020-10, modifying the schedule to extend the real estate flat tax period until September 30th, 2020 to align with what the county commissioners have established. There will be a penalty period after September 30, 2020, and there were no modifications to the discount period. So I will make that recommendation. I will make that motion also.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
All right, I believe I got one more, but I got to change screen, so hold on a second. Okay. The last one is a resolution. I assume I have to read this. There's a resolution of the Council of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, reducing the 2020 business privilege tax and mercantile tax estimated payments in both the Wilson School District and Wyomissing Area School District portions of the Borough of Wyomissing. Am I allowed to add any commentary to that?
Sure, go ahead.
Certainly.
So bottom line is we agreed that we would take the lower, Wyomissing School District agreed to a 50% estimated payment. Wilson, within all their districts, has gone to 75%. So we will have to accept the 75%, and the Finance Committee will also internally work on creating an account where we can sort of put the money, the extra 25% that we will be getting in case we need to reimburse it next year. But at this point, we have to accept the higher of the two. So that's what this will be doing.
Okay. Are you making that motion?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Ayes have it. Okay.
Okay. I believe that's it for the Finance and Admin Committee.
Right. All those in favor of accepting Finance and Administration's report, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay. And the next item of business is the Recreation Board meeting on May the 11th.
We already did that.
Did that one? Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah, rec board's on twice.
Yeah.
We beat that one dead.
Well, that was the rec board April 21st, and this was the one from May 11th.
No.
So, okay. All right. Manager's reports. Pat.
Good afternoon, all. In the normal packet, your authority minutes for the Joint Municipal Authority for March 9th and 20th. Also included, I put a nice letter from a borough resident on April 30th. The Public Works Tree and Parks Department worked very diligently during our rain and windstorm to handle a significant tree issue over on Girard Avenue. So they amended that. Borough Hall continues to be closed to the public and will remain closed. Staff continues to assist our citizens and public by electronic, phone, email, and virtual meetings. The fire and police, public works are all working within the respective operational plan. Melissa is constantly updating the borough website to make sure all the information there is normal. Currently, our park playground amenities continue to be closed to the public. Parks and trails remain open for use, and temporary practice social distancing signs have been placed at all trail instances and parks. And we're continuing to operate under the borough declaration of a local disaster. Our pandemic response plan, and all of the CDC, state and county, and West Side Emergency Management, the COVID-19 guidance. That's it.
Matt, if I could just add, I too received 2 positive comments from residents on Girard Avenue, aside from Mrs. Tierney's that you received, just commending Jim Babb and his staff for a job very well done and attentive work to that issue problem there.
Thank you.
I had the opportunity to watch some of the work being done, the removal of that tree. That was a huge oak. And obviously the people that own that property are a little upset, to say the least, about having a big tree like that laying across your roof. And our borough staff and Martin's Tree Service did a fantastic job. It was handled as professionally as you could ever want to have something happen in that circumstance. And it was a nasty day out there anyway, the wind and everything else. it really makes you proud when you see somebody that can work, two contractors can work, the public works and an outside contractor work together to have something like that taken care of in a very short period of time. And my congratulations to everybody that was concerned there. It was a good, and nobody got hurt. That was the best thing. Okay. All those in favor of accepting the borough manager report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Next is
Can
the,
we just 1 second. This is in regard then to when we get to the accounts payable. Melissa, go back up to the joint authority, their expenditure sheet there. Can you scroll back up? Yeah, hold on. Down a little bit. Right, yeah, that's good. That's good. Go down a little bit more. There. I like the way they show a description there of the checks. Ours doesn't have that, and of course, I've been trying to keep an eye on some stuff there too, just because I don't know what it all is. But on theirs, it's pretty simple to see what it was for. I don't know if we can do something like that easily or what there. Our report just has the amount and that's it. I don't know what anybody else thinks about that, but it would give me an idea because we have a lot of stuff.
yeah.
We can take a look at that, Mr. Boucher, and see what we can come with.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, I think it would be really helpful. I don't know. It certainly would. I like the way that shows there because you know pretty much what it is anyway. Okay.
I agree with that. I'd like to see that too, if possible.
I actually think that's a good idea too.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Melissa.
Oh, wait a minute. Do you want to, okay, we can, you want to put that in the form of a motion, Tom?
Well, yeah, I think Pat, are you there, Pat?
Yeah, I need to speak with
wanna-
Phil. We'll need to take a look at the software. We may need to try to make some software changes. So I'd like to get back to information because it could require a financial situation.
All right, well, why don't you investigate it and just give us a,
I'll report back to you.
yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Next is Treasurer's Statement of Operation. Greg, do you have anything to say about that?
Well, I just want to mention, we talked to a few, can everybody hear me okay? I'm not really sure there.
Yes.
Okay, at any rate, Steve mentioned a few things about how the property taxes have come back. When we reported out last month, it was pretty well behind where it had been the year before. That has recovered, obviously. If you look at the page that Melissa has on here right now, in the center column, April year-to-date net, all the way to the bottom, $445,000. So we have a surplus through April 30th of $445,000. Now, if you flip, Melissa, to page 4, scroll down to page 4, please. Just to, one more up there. There we go. 2 highlights there. If you want to look at the variances, third column from the right, the first line, that's your real estate taxes. If you notice, there's a positive variance there for $537,000, which, Phyllis, jump in if you're there. You know, it's our actual collections compared to where we thought we would be, and it's whatever we project. So that's looking pretty good. So apparently, and again, I think last month this was not a positive number. In the body of the minutes that Steve was reviewing, there is a comment about the local taxes, mercantile taxes, and local services tax. In the center there, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines down from that first property tax. See $176,000 in that same year-to-date variance column. Those 4 numbers, 176, 18, 241, and 44, add up to about $479,000, $480,000, and those are unfavorable. And again, Steve talked a little bit about what's going to happen or what we think may happen with those taxes. You know, the jury's out on that yet. We don't know where that's going to end up. All the way down, let's see, down on the next page, page 5, So the good part about this is total expenses, second to last column, same third to last column from the right. We have a $223,000 positive variance on expenses, basically $131,000 variance on the year, which isn't bad with all the unknown things that you guys are juggling right now. That's not a bad April results. I don't know, Phyllis, if you're there, if you want to jump in with anything, but that's kind of just an overall. So those are my comments, Tom.
Thank you very much. Anybody have anything for the treasurer other than what he's just said? Okay, all those in favor of accepting the treasurer's statement of operation, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Next is the accounts payable for the general fund, the Bureau of Water, the sewer fund, the refuse and the recycling fund. Any questions on the accounts? All those in favor of accepting that, please signify by saying aye.
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 Have it. Tax collectors report. Is Betsy Heckman?
You know what, Tom, hold on one second. I gotta back up here. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Okay.
I just wanted to check on two things. Dave Roach, $7,000. What was that one for? I don't know, is that something Jim did or we did at the Borough Hall or what
I
happened?
think that's an electrical contract.
It's electrical.
Yeah, he's an electrician.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he is. I didn't know what, is that one job or what is that?
Yes, that's replacement of the lighting on the front of the fire station, previously approved.
Okay, so that was in the budget, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Okay, how about Albright, the 2,500 CELG? I know what it is, but is that like dues or something?
That's their yearly contribution to be the sponsor for the CELG.
Okay, and then I noticed that we paid.
And I think it's money well spent.
Okay. The other one so again, I know I'm after this a lot. Comcast is on here like 4 times we paid them. What is all that for?
I think it's at different locations within the
With
community.
different locations for the internet lines and the phone lines.
Okay, all right, because it's on here, I think 4 times.
Yes, sir. Different facilities.
Okay, like, say like the tree house or something?
Treehouse, Parks Barn, Public Works, Fire
Okay.
Station.
All right.
Okay.
Herb, how about Herb and Henry Equipment? What's that one? $19,000.
Jim, can you specify that?
That one I'm not familiar with. I think the Parks guys took delivery of it.
That's correct. That's the delivery of the riding mower.
Okay. All right, I wasn't sure of that name. I didn't know that. Okay. All right. Okay, Tom.
All right. Since we had an approval on that, tax collectors report, Betsy Heckman, are you on the line? Okay.
She did submit a letter. I don't know if we need to read it or not, but.
Okay. It's this letter is from Betsy A. Heckman, and greetings to Wyomissing Borough Council and Mr. Mayor. As this has been an extraordinary tax season so far, I thought it best to give you a summary of what has occurred and what is continuing. Due to the confusing press about due dates for taxes, I was inundated with questions about decisions on the possibility of any changes to anything from due dates as to when they could pay their taxes, and so many like to pay in person. Due to the confusion, many waited until the last week to pay, and thus over 40% of what taxes were paid came into Borough Hall in the last 4 days of the discount period. It has been an extremely hectic 2 weeks. However, I am very pleased to tell you that I have brought in only slightly less than taxes during the same period last year. And that is considering that not all the monies have been accounted for from CoreLogic. As everyone is working from home, things have not fallen through the cracks everywhere, and there are residents whose taxes have been paid. Yet I have no names to go with monies. I'm working closely with both CoreLogic and the County Treasurer's Office. It will get worked out. Needless to say, many residents were disappointed that they were unable to come to Borough Hall to pay their and get their receipts immediately. I did my best to assure their disappointment and even dropping off receipts personally in some cases. I hope the borough is satisfied with my efforts and continues to support me, as this difficult time is obviously far from over. Please let me know if there will be any changes to the due dates for taxes so I can inform the residents anxious to know. Sincerely, Betsy A. Heckman. So,
I wouldn't want to do her job right now.
no. And I think Barbara Reeser's happy she retired. So,
Wow.
Anyway, the report is written. Greg, do you have any comments on that? Steve?
Only that what she mentioned, when we looked at this last month again, we were behind collections. And the fact that she's caught up so much in the last couple of weeks, and it's probably still similar. I think, Steve, correct me, but at our finance committee meeting last week, she was still posting receipts yet for the April 30th timeframe, the discount period. So not sure if these will be final, but these may improve before we see it next time.
Yeah, I'm scrambling to get my computer here, but I've been in contact with Phyllis. Keith Durr and I have been in contact with Phyllis a bunch. I believe the year to date, we go through May 9th, because that collective period when it's accounted for, we're about at the same dollar amount we were last year.
The last one she sent out last year at this time was 3.6 million. We're almost at 3.5 million. We're just $146,000 behind same time last year.
Yeah, the last month at this time, we were way behind.
Yeah, it's like 4%.
Yeah, yep.
Wow.
Thanks, Keith. I got too many screens going here.
Okay. All in favor of accepting the tax collector's report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
One other piece of business that we have is, as most of you know, Jerry Kozloff has passed away. And I would like to have a proclamation made and sent to her family. And if somebody would be so kind as to make that motion for me, please.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have it. Chris, you're going to take care of that for us?
Will.
Chris Hartman?
Yes, I'll take care of it.
Thank you very much. Any other business to be brought before council this afternoon? Hearing none, we'll call the meeting adjourned.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was a long one.